This video will help us understand why altitude, microclimate, and processing method affects the flavor of the coffee, as well as the life cycle of a coffee tree and the other varietals of coffee. Just sit back, watch, and relax. Enjoy! Altitude. It is a height of a point in relation to sea level or ground level. High-quality coffee thrives in the highest elevation anywhere between 3,000 to 6,000 feet. At high elevations, warm temperatures during the day and cooler temperatures at night slow down the coffee cherries' growth. More time on the tree means more time for the beans to develop a complex flavor profile. Quality beans is not all about altitude. There is this terroir, a French term, which is used to describe environmental factors that determine the taste profile of the coffee. This describes environment complex, farming practices, and specific growth habitat, including soil, microorganisms, and microclimate. Arabica and robusta are the two most recognized species of commercially grown coffee trees. Arabica, 60% of world's production, grows best at high altitude, more refined flavor, elegant body and acidity, approximately 1% caffeine by weight, less resistant to diseases, pests, and drought, while Robusta, 40% of world's production, usually grows at lower altitudes, less refined flavor, approximately 2% caffeine by weight, more resistance to diseases, pests, and drought. Varietals is about genetic differentiation between different plants. Have apple as an example. They came in all different shapes and sizes. They all came in the same species, but different variety of apple. Different things about apple based on the way they look and the way they shape. Same with coffees. They come in one species, but they have different varieties, different properties, characteristics, flavor in the way they grown, and etc. Varietals is evaluated by Typica grows well in all types of topography. It's higher yielding than Bourbon, but it's still noted for its cap quality. However, it is susceptible to disease, fungi, and pests. Leaves are rigid with a pointy edge, slightly elongated beans, long distance between nodes of fruits cluster. Bourbon trees requires higher maintenance than other varietals, and yet the trees are the lowest yielding. But the characteristics in the cup are so complex. Nodes are close, cherries are shorter and rounder than Typica. Cherries can come in red, yellow, or orange color. Tura is one of the early hybrids developed in Brazil, a coffee tree with a higher yield, but its productive lifespan is shorter than those of other varietals. The cherries in tight cluster, the shorter intermodal distance. Is another early hybrid developed in Brazil to be stronger and higher yielding. Catuai produces a smaller bean than do other varietals. Similar to Catura, smaller, tighter branches, slightly more curled leaves. Sometimes listed as geisha. This is an Ethiopian heirloom varietal that has been transplanted to different areas in Central and Latin America. It's considered a sibling to Typica, instead of the descendant, with its own unique characteristics. Sparse and slanted branches, thin elongated leaves. Cherry and bean are larger and longer than Typica. Pruning is an important part of farm management. If a tree is left alone, it can grow up to 30 feet tall, making them very hard to harvest and actually decreasing their productivity. It happens between month of April to June, depends on the growing region. Trees typically blossom once a year. The buds bloom into jasmine-scented flowers, often triggered by a long rain. When the flower falls off the tree, a cluster of green cherries form. As the coffee cherries ripen, they begin to turn red. The darker the red the cherry, the sweeter the fruit and the more developed the coffee bean inside. It takes 9 months from the time a coffee tree flowers to producing ripe cherries ready for picking. Cherries are ready to harvest when they are deep red color. Cherries will ripen at different times around the farm and even on the same tree. A fungus also known as Himalaya vastarix or laroya was first documented in 1860s. Fungus attacks and destroys the leaves of the coffee trees. Berry borer is a small beetle that bores into the coffee fruit. Pruning is the best defense to deter the beetle, ensuring that all coffee cherries are picked during harvest. These are worm-like organisms that attack the root system of the plants by feeding on the sap and essentially creating nuts into the root system.